This is Mrs. Wintenberg, the helpful art teacher, showing you how to create a quick gesture drawing. You start with a line across for the shoulders, another line across for the hips, and the action line, which goes from the shoulder through the opposite hip to the bottom of the foot the person's putting their weight on. You then complete another line like the action line, starting at the other shoulder. It goes again through the opposite hip to the bottom of the other leg. You add arms, a head, and you fill it in so it looks like a very simple silhouette of a person, almost like a shadow. So again, line for the shoulders, line for the hips. Line of action, which goes down to the foot the person's putting their weight on and is in one long continuous gesture. The other line that goes from the other shoulder through the other hip down to the other leg. Then you add the arms, the head, and you fill in to make it look like a shadow. Just continue to follow this procedure as you do numerous quick gesture drawings. Notice how I use the worksheet to the left to figure out what pictures I was going to do. I'm going to hand you the same worksheet as a reference, and you just go through all of them, doing them as quickly as possible. Do not try and draw the outline of the person without doing the underlying gesture. If you do, the person will not have a sense of movement. It's that line of action that creates the dynamic sense of movement in these quick studies. I'm going to go over I want to go through all the people that I just drew, and then I'm going to very quickly go over a few other concepts with you that I need to cover. So let's just do one or two more people real quick. Shoulders, hips, line of action. Okay, in this case, the arm is supposed to be overlapping the body. I'm trying to draw the violin player, so it took me a few tries to get the arm in the right position, overlapping the body. Once you have that, I had to draw the violin, and again, it was overlapping part of the body, so that was a little bit tricky. Don't be afraid to erase if you make a mistake. Add a circle in every time the body bends, like the waist, the hips, the elbow, the shoulder. It'll help you to figure out the movement of the joints. And these are meant to be very quick studies. They're not meant to be detailed at all. Basically, you're trying to capture the movement of the person and reinforce what you already know about proportions. So now here are all the people that I've drawn so far. I'm just going to make them reappear and put them next to each other. And you can look to see how successful I was by looking at the person on the left-hand side that they correspond with. Now I just want to go over a few other key important concepts with you. The line of action should be one long, fluid, continuous gesture. Before filling your figure, draw circles at every joint. Stop and curve your line inward at each joint when filling in. Draw the circles for the hips and the waist larger than the other joints. The circles for the hips should almost touch each other. And remember, the thighs are wider than the calf. One arm and one leg seem to be shorter in this figure. They're not actually shorter. Why do they appear shorter? What you're observing here is a phenomenon called foreshortening. When an object is either facing directly towards or away from the viewer, it appears to be shorter. That's called foreshortening. You can see it in the one leg that's bent away and the one arm that's bent towards the viewer. Let me demonstrate foreshortening using a piece of graph paper and a stylus. When I lay the stylus down, it is 6 squares tall. When I start angling it towards you, it becomes 5 squares tall, then 4 squares tall. As it angles towards you more directly, it becomes shorter and shorter and shorter until it is finally only just 1 square long as it faces directly towards you. So it's not actually shorter, it just appears shorter, and when I draw it, I have to draw it shorter. That's called foreshortening. Your assignment today is to copy the worksheet and do several quick gesture drawings. Tomorrow, you'll be looking at a video with actual people and using them as a reference to do your own gesture drawings.